Support for this podcast comes from the Florida Atlantic University College of Business, home to over 8,000 students, 7 departments, 6 centers, and an impressive offering of interdisciplinary and professional development programs taught by the college's world-class faculty. Learn more at business.fau.edu. Hello, I'm Jen Mullins.
And I'm Ryan Swano, and this is what's happening at FAU Business. On this episode of the podcast, we spoke with Adi Devendra, an FAU student whose educational video game software, Polka Box, won first prize in the 12th annual business plan competition held by FAU's College of Business and the Adams Center for Entrepreneurship. Our interview with Adi was originally recorded on May 1st, and since then, Polka Box was named as one of 20 companies accepted into FAU Tech Runway's Venture Class 8. Congratulations, Adi. If you're interested in learning more about the FAU Business Plan Competition and the Adams Center for Entrepreneurship, visit business.fau.edu/Adams Center. Thanks for listening and enjoy the interview. Hi, Adi. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So that we can get started, can you give us your elevator pitch for your business, Polka Box?
Sure. We realized that many students are unengaged and uninterested when it comes to learning about science. And a lot of times it's because for them, science is something that's very much separated from their own life, their own day-to-day life. So they see it as something that's, they can't really relate to it. And part of the reason for that is they don't learn about the applications, the relevance, how it's applied, and how it's made useful in their own day-to-day life. So we realized that, and we had conversations with different teachers and students, and we saw that there was a demand for this. So the platform we built, Polka Box, it provides students with actual real-world applications and relevant examples that actually have an impact on them. And these examples are all tied to what they're learning in their curriculum. The gamification aspects of this platform are so that it becomes much more personal, much more immersive, and much more motivating for the people playing the game.
So how did you come up with this idea, and why the name Polka Box?
We came up with the idea because a lot of it was based off of our own personal experiences, because we ourselves believed that there wasn't a whole lot of meaning to what we were learning, and it felt like a lot of times we were just, being taught things for the sake of passing exams. And if there was an alternative, then we would much rather go with that. And the alternative was Polka Box in this case. The name Polka Box comes from some of our game concepts, actually, because the main character of the game, his name is Polka. And this fictional world that he happens to be in is called Euboxia. So we just took those two together, and we thought that Polka Box sounded cool and kind of catchy. So we just stuck with that, and it went.
Okay. Adi, are there other app solutions out there like Polka Box? And if there are, how are you guys different from those other solutions?
One thing we did before we started any development for the game was that we did experiment and try out each and every single individual product that we could find out there that could be similar to what we're trying to make. So an example of this is Prodigy. So Prodigy is actually a very popular math game that it's not very new. It's like maybe 6 or 7 years old now. And it's very much popular because it uses the style of gaming that you find in Pokemon for teaching math. And for students, that happens to be very rewarding. The reason that we decided not to go with the Prodigy route was that we believed it wasn't really solving the main problem that we saw. And the main problem was that students weren't learning how this could be relevant to their actual daily life. They weren't learning about the applications. And Prodigy doesn't have any of that because Prodigy is more of a game for practicing math. And they don't go into the details of explaining why it's important or how it can be used in everyday life. So what separates our game from many other applications I've seen is that we actually break it down for the students. Every topic how important it is, how it's relevant, how it impacts their life, or even how the student themselves can apply it on their own. And this is something that's not very easy to do because you have to go out there and talk to other scientists or talk to researchers or talk to entrepreneurs, because teachers by themselves don't have this knowledge, because most of them are very much limited in terms of resources and like how much they've read about science. So we take the efforts of doing the work that many other companies we see are not doing. And that's what separates us.
Yeah, that's very important.
And Adi, are you a game developer yourself, or did you have a team of people that were helping you make the product? How did that come about?
Yeah, so I'm lucky because I have a pretty solid team with me. I'm more of the person who's been organizing some of the content and what's going to go into the game. But really, like, the game itself has been a very collaborative effort. So we have a main developer who's been working on the code for the game, and he's very talented at what he does, and he makes sure that he's building features for the game that will be worthwhile. We also have an artist. So the artist helps to make sure that whatever content is going in our game, it looks nice, it looks beautiful, it looks attractive, something that a player would actually want to play. It feels more inviting because of that. And lastly, we have a business development lady who's been working on a lot of the more financial and operational aspects of this product and the business. So yes, it's been very exciting, and it's been a very collaborative effort throughout the way.
So Adi, why did you enter the FAU business plan competition?
We were actually part of something at FAU called the FAU Wave program. And the FAU Wave program is an entrepreneurship and undergrad research competition. So the main director of the Wave program, her name's Regina, she saw some potential in us that I guess we didn't see ourselves. And she actually encouraged us to apply to the business plan competition at FAU. And also, there was another competition that was within Tech Runway. It wasn't actually Tech Runway, but the competition was happening within Tech Runway. So although we did not succeed at that competition, Kevin Cox and Regina both happened to be there. And both of them seemed pretty excited about the project, and both of them encouraged us to apply to the business plan competition. So we thought that, okay, there's no harm in applying, so maybe we'll just try it out. So we made a business plan, we made a marketing plan, we made the pitch, and we tried our luck, and it seemed like things fell in place, which is very exciting because we do have a lot of potential for this. We want to see that this project really grows and that there's going to be a lot of opportunity for it to grow even more in the future. So the business plan competition seemed like a good way for that to happen.
You mentioned Kevin Cox, who's a professor in the FAU College of Business. So this sort of leads me into our next question, which is, now that you're the winner of the competition, are you able to look back and identify some key ways that the Adams Center for Entrepreneurship at the College of Business kind of guided and enhanced your idea leading up to and during the competition?
Yeah, so again, Dr. Kevin Cox was one of the first people who kind of encouraged us to check out the competition because he believed that we had a pretty good shot at doing well in it. So we asked for some advice from him on making business plans and some of the more legal things regarding business and finances. And he told us what he could based on what he believed was effective. And that was good because it kind of gave us some good guidance on what to look at and what to do some research on. FAU also happens to have a mentorship program. The College of Business has a mentorship program. And they pair one or two mentors from that program to help out the contestants. So after we reached semifinals, then we were paired with a mentor from that program, and his name is Ron. So Ron helped us. He gave some really solid, profound advice on our business plan and our pitch, and we made sure to implement some of that advice and feedback into our plan and into our pitch. And doing that, we were able to win semifinals and then reached to finals. So again, we worked with him another time, and then we gathered his feedback and his wisdom on the subject. And again, it seems like by combination of Ron's intellect and Lindsay's knowledge by taking entrepreneurship classes at the FAU College of Business, it seemed that we were able to put together a good presentation and a good plan that helped us win first place at the competition.
So last question, what are your future plans with Polka Box?
Now that we have some prize winnings from the competition, some of it we plan to save, of course, and some we plan on utilizing for the growth of the business. So that could mean acquiring some more people, especially developers, because programming and development is going to be a pretty important aspect of the project. And in addition to that, we want to continue building the product and testing it with some actual students, because we were doing that before, and that helped us a lot because we knew what was working and what wasn't working. And we want to continue doing that until we have a model that we know that the students love to play and that the schools who fall in our target audience will love to invest or bring into the schools after purchasing it. So it's all about continuing to do what we've already been doing for the most part. But now that we have some funding, some prize winnings, the process will be a little bit easier and more streamlined.
I know Tech Runway tries to help, get new businesses off the ground. Do you have any plans of trying to link up with them?
Yeah. So in March, I believe, we entered the Tech Runway launch competition, and we were selected to be part of the finalists. So now we're a finalist in the Tech Runway launch program, and it seems that they're going to be having soon an event where we give pitches and we answer questions based on the business to different judges. So these judges include investors or different business people who can eventually act as mentors to those who are accepted into the program. So it seemed that Tech Runway has a lot to offer, and it'll be very exciting and very, very motivating if we get in there, because they have a lot of people with different experiences, different insights, and it will be a good collective measure to grow the vision.
Adi, again, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today, and good luck with Polka Box.
No, thank you for having me. Yeah, it was a pleasure.
What's Happening at FAU Business is part of the FAU College of Business podcast network. Learn more at business.fau.edu/podcasts.